Please stand for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
I'll ask for a motion. Is there any deletions or on the agenda? There's none at this time.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I need a second.
I'd second that.
All right. I got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And just a little announcement, there's 3 of us county commissioners, and yes, it's still a quorum, so we're still good here too, so. All right. Employee recognition, I'll turn that over to our administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A great way to start off the morning here with some employee years of service recognition. First and foremost, everybody who's here today, thank you for coming. I know everybody's busy with their activities and to take time out of your day to be here, either as a recipient to be recognized or someone here to support them. Thank you for being here. Mr. Chair, our years of service program is different than our longevity program. So I just have to explain that. So some folks qualify for longevity. Those are typically our full-time employees, and once they hit the 15-year mark, there's recognition there for longevity. Our years of service does that, but as well, it captures the service with our intermittent, or it starts the first day that you're here is year 1. So there's a little bit difference there. But before you, what we have is almost 200 years of service here to Morrison County that will be recognized today. Really, I say this as often as I possibly can. Our people is what makes the difference. Without our employees, these would be a bunch of hollowed walls, and really we wouldn't get anything done. We have some of the most exceptional employees that the region has to offer, and especially here in Morrison County, and I'm grateful to serve alongside of them each and every day. So with that, we'll get started. I'll read off the 5-year recipients, and as you come up, I'll present you a certificate, and if you just join the board up here behind the dais, we'll take a photo, and then we'll go to 10, and so on. I'll read off the names even if they're not here, so we recognize them today, and then when we're done, please hang on to your certificate, and we'll get a group photo with everybody, and then we'll move on to our next item on the agenda. So first off, I'm not sure I saw him, but Brady Punsek, are you here this morning? All right. Josh Wool? I think I saw Josh. No? Okay. Another deputy. Aaron Colomb. All right, let's hear it for our 5-year recipients. On a roll. I know this guy's here. Matt Messerschmidt. Please come on up. 10 years of service. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Lynn Grove. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thank you. Congratulations. Come on up. Charlotte Dietrich. Thanks, Charlotte. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Daniel Owens.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Bill Vanavon. Thanks, Bill. Congratulations. All right, these are our 10-year recipients.
Okay.
How are we? I better turn that off.
All right.
Thanks.
Congratulations, you guys. Keep up the good work.
One more hand. All right, this our 15-year recipient, Linda. And earlier, or I should say yesterday, I sent out a note, and if you've been here more than a year and don't have one of these pewter pins, let me know. Linda wrote me back and said she'll take one. So she's got it. Congratulations, Linda. Thank you.
Right in the middle. And then hold up your certificate, and then you get your picture taken. There we go. Is it upside down? Make sure it's not upside down. All right. All right, one more. All right,
Congratulations, Linda.
Yeah, it's here for Linda. Thank you, Linda. 20-year recipient, Luann Jarvis. I saw Luann. Congratulations, Luann. Thank you. And our very own Beth Hamlin. Bird.
Congratulations. Right up in the front row here.
Just us?
Yep,
Just
you
us.
too.
That's what we got. All we need.
Good.
Smile, Ben.
One more picture. Joseph's got it. All right, thank you.
Thank you. 25 years, and the coordinator of this morning's breakfast, Miss Amy Kowalczyk. Thank you. Joining her, Sandy Lubers. Thanks, Sandy. Thanks for coming. We won't make a big deal out of it.
Congratulations. Hardest working person.
Congratulations. Make sure they're right side up.
Yep.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you. All right, and the woman who lives by her name, 30 years of dedicated service, Miss Joy Leidenfrost. Please come on up, Joy. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. There you go.
Time races, huh? Time races.
I know, right?
Congratulations.
Getting old.
I love this, lives by your name.
Yeah.
That away, that away.
Got it.
Oh, one more.
Way old, steady. Okay, if all of our recipients would come up, please. We're into one group picture, Joy. All of our years of service recipients, come on up, please. We'll do a group photo. Yeah, bring your certificate. If not, you'll look like you don't belong. This is a good crew right here. SO is no show in 5-year. What's up?
Don't be trying to hide down there.
Working, mid-shift.
I know what you girls are up. Officers can get down this way, come on, guys.
I know, let's go by Linda. Yes. She'll direct us. You get us all?
Oh, shoot.
You're not looking happy with this. Well, I can't see Randy. There I can. Now I can see Randy's face.
We're not real centered, but.
You kind of. You're okay. I like it.
Dan, put your shirt up. There you go. Looks good. Not over your face.
All right. Everybody smile.
Think about breakfast.
Got it. Oh, one more. Oh,
This one
okay.
goes
My
in the
bad.
paper.
Yeah. You're good smile.
All right, 200 years of service. Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Sandy. You're up next. Mr. Chair, we're going to move to the next item, if that's all right. You stay, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next item on the agenda is our Award of Excellence. You might have noticed as you came in the county boardroom, there's some photos up on the wall. Each of those photos represent our recipients for each quarter, and then there's the first photo is for the annual recipient for the Award of Excellence. The Award of Excellence program recognizes one county employee each quarter that stands out amongst their peers and amongst the organization. Then at the end of the year, the 4 quarter recipients compete for the annual award. And that's how our program works. But it starts with leadership recognition and finding and hunting the good stuff and looking for those employees that do stand out amongst their peers. After the nominations come in, a selection committee is assembled by the chair, the vice chair, and then 2 department heads that don't have representation on that Award of Excellence selection list. So this quarter's Award of Excellence, let's see how I can read this here. The first quarter, hold on, I had a plan. All right, so this person who's receiving this award today is for his attitude and his willingness to help out whenever and wherever he is needed. This person works the day shift. There's your first clue. And part of his responsibilities includes stopping at the Upsala and Swanville schools. A couple more clues. Both the faculty and students comment on a regular basis how professional and approachable he is. This person also participated in the selection process for the county SWAT team and was selected for the SWAT assignment in February 2024. Although this person's daily work with the community and schools in our office is admirable, his biggest impact has been his dog pursuit with illegal drugs. All right, Jacob, come on up. You know it's you. You had no idea. You're here for a special drug training class today, right? Isn't that what Sean said? That's what I thought. Yeah. Well, this is what the nomination reads, and I'll put the words in. Although Deputy Fashion's daily work with the community and schools and our office is admirable, his impact has been of his dog pursuit of illegal drugs being trafficked on our roadway in Morrison County. Since starting in May of 2023, Deputy Fashing has taken nearly 2 pounds of a combination of methamphetamines, cocaine, and the most dangerous of all of these, fentanyl, off of the Morrison County roads. Deputy Fashing's knack for impaired drivers has also not gone unnoticed by the state of Minnesota. Jacob was recognized for his impaired driver enforcement by the Minnesota Department of Public Safety as one of the top DUI officers in 2023. One stop in particular also netted a stolen handgun, which, after investigation, has been linked to other crimes in Minnesota. This is just another example of attention to detail, sound decision-making, and constantly being in the right place at the right time to make a difference. Our second quarter award recipient, Jacob Fashing. In addition to his photo being up on the wall, which I think this is 2 SO folks in a row now, Sheriff, which is awesome. Way to go, SO. Jacob's receiving a certificate of appreciation, a parking voucher, as if the Blue Line parking isn't close enough, and a little trophy to put on your desk. And on the back, it's engraved 2024 First Quarter Award of Excellence winner, Jacob Fashing. So thank you and congratulations. Now we got to get you a picture. Oh, wait, hang on. Mr. Chair, any comments?
I would like to have him give a speech.
Okay. There you go, buddy.
I had no idea this was happening at all, that I was coming in for some secret stuff, but whatever. I don't really know what to say, just I'm glad to be here, and thanks, that's all I got.
And again, if I may, again, it's well-deserved, with all the things that the deputy sheriff and the sheriff's office does out there. Again, the job well done. Again, thank you very much for serving the county. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anything else, gentlemen? If not,
We'll get you a photo. Head on up. Thanks, Jacob.
Jake, I'd like to say something to Jake. Jake, America's better because of you. Thank you for your work. In a world when you hate to even turn the news on, it's people like you that stand against this foolishness, and we thank you for that. God bless you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Keep up the good work.
Right up in the front row.
And as they're getting situated, if you came here to support Jake, we'll get a picture with all you up here next.
Secret mission.
Thank you.
So much for a secret mission.
Get up in there in the front. There you go.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Ashley.
All right, one more.
So Jake, we're gonna hold you there and bring family up? I don't think he saw you. Hi, hi. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Hi.
Hi. Jacob's grandma.
And who is this here? All right, well, you know what, they get you put grandpa and grandma on the side, one on each side.
Hi.
Couldn't be prouder, could we?
That's right.
This is a great day for the county.
Yeah.
It's a great day for the county.
Lady, why don't you get on this side?
Come on in.
You sat right in the
Oh, my Lord, we got moms here too? Thank you, thank you for your support.
Here, you wanna be here? Hello, Mother.
It's okay, Jake. Got him.
Good, brother. Even better yet, we had him do, we didn't know why he was here. We didn't know why he was here. It's the best. What is going on? This is awesome. This is awesome.
Hi, guys. That's her mom.
Oh, yeah, we should.
Sorry about that, man.
Yeah, there's Randy. I can see everybody.
Something to be proud of.
All right, it's here for Deputy Fashing.
Of your son and grandson.
Hi, I'm fine.
Good, how are you?
Thanks for coming. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for coming. Awesome, appreciate it. Thank you again. Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Yes.
Great grandson.
Be careful.
Absolutely.
For iPad.
There's someone else.
Congratulations. There you go, buddy. That's the rest of your stuff.
Better be it, but we'll give her.
Thanks, Sean.
I was selling it.
You know, there's proclamations next, right?
Might as well.
Thanks for coming.
Surprise.
Yes. I like that.
You did. Thanks, Joel. Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for coming.
He's like an extra right arm.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm gonna kick out this door stop.
Down here, 'cause she's like, oh, they're doing one last picture, and I said, I don't think so.
Oh, we can do a picture. I'm still not muted.
Back over here, and his mic's still on. Isn't that sweet?
Good kid.
That is so sweet. I think that's awesome. Grandpa, what would you do to fight the tears?
Okay. Continuing on, we got, we have the consent agenda in front of you, gentlemen. If there's anything that you'd like pulled, if not, I'll ask a motion, and this will be a roll call.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda before us.
All right,
I'd second that,
have a
Mr.
second,
Chair.
any more discussion? All right. If not, Commissioner Blaine,
Aye.
Commissioner Casper,
Aye.
myself is aye, motion carries. Okay, now we have proclamations, mental health awareness. Come on up. We got plenty of seats, so anybody that's part of this, please come up. And then have them state their name for the record and all that stuff, and we'll move on.
Jeff Bowman.
Mary Morana.
Julie Newman.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
What do you
morning.
have for us today?
We have the 2024 Mental Health Proclamation.
Whereas mental illnesses are medical conditions that disturb a person's thinking, feeling, mood, ability to relate to others, and daily function. Just as diabetes is a disorder of the pancreas, mental illnesses are medical conditions that often result in diminished capacity for coping with the ordinary demands of life. And whereas mental illnesses can affect a person of any age, race, religion, or income. Mental illnesses are not the result of a personal weakness, lack of character, or poor upbringing. And whereas without treatment, the consequences of mental illness for individuals and society are astoundingly including unemployment, substance abuse, homelessness, inappropriate incarnation, I can't even say the word, being jailed, isolation, or even death. Whereas stigma, negative stereotyping, prejudice erode the confidence, and the mental disorders are real, treatable, and health conditions, thus impeding a person in getting the help they need and impose additional structural, financial barriers to the effective treatment and recovery. And whereas early identification and treatment of a vital importance, by assuring access to the treatment and the recovery supports that are proven effective, recovery is accelerated and the further harm related to the course of the illness is minimized. And whereas mental illnesses are treatable with the appropriate, effective medication and wider range of services tailored to their needs, most people who live with a serious mental illness can significantly reduce the impact of their illnesses and find a satisfying measure of achieving and independence. Now, therefore, we, the Commissioners of Morrison County, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 to be Mental Health Awareness Month in Morrison County and urge all citizens to work towards together breaking the stigma of mental illnesses and proclaim our support to those suffering and recovering from mental illnesses.
You did a wonderful job reading that, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve of this proclamation.
I need a second?
I'd second that,
Any more
Mr. Chair.
discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to say thank you to these four individuals and to all the others that work to help improve the lives of those people out there with mental illness. Some of us here recognize that this is probably the disease that is most misdiagnosed, most misunderstood by other people in the public. And it is professionals such as yourselves that help in that identification with individuals who are suffering from this illness. And as in the proclamation, we make these relationships to other diseases that are easily diagnosed and easily recognized. The issue of mental illness and this disease is so often misdiagnosed, misunderstood, and unfortunately mistreated. I appreciate all of the work that all of you and all of those who are not with us here today do on this front. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Casper?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I just echo Mr. Blaine's words. You folks, thank you. Thank you for being there for the down and outers, people that without you don't have much hope in the world. God bless you for your efforts. Thank you. Thanks again.
Sitting on other mental health boards, this is a really tough position that you guys put yourself in, because diagnosing it is not easy. You know, it's something that you have to really, as I say, drill down to find out if there is a problem or like that. And you're such an asset to the community, because this is becoming it's a nationwide problem due to all the things that are happening in our country. And you are pretty much almost at the front lines, or have to be there, because again, when things happen, they don't know if it's a mental health disease or what it may be. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate everything that your department and for mental health does. So again, thank you. I have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for being here.
Can we get a picture with them, Mr. Chair?
It's a good thing I dressed them.
We would hope so.
Go ahead, yeah, come on.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Good morning again.
Thank you.
Jeff, have you got somebody that's willing to hold that? Just gotta hold that.
Right in the front row.
Brandon.
Squeeze in. There we go.
Actually, you guys look good, except for that mic.
Oh, sorry, push me. Thank you, Bobby.
Absolutely.
All right, smile. Got it.
All right, enjoy the
Thank you.
week. Thanks again.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.
Hey, breakfast, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Oh, is there?
Is there one more?
Yep, there's one more. Okay, moving right along, public service recognition.
Mr. Chair, if it's okay, I'll take this one.
You go right ahead, sir.
Thank you. Every year since 1985, the first full week of May has been set aside as Public Service Recognition Week. At a time to thank our dedicated employees and servants from the federal, state, and local governments across the country. Morrison County has over 300 employees who continually provide cost-effective, high-quality services in a friendly, respectful manner. And now I'll read the proclamation. whereas Morrison County employs over 300 employees who provide cost-effective, high-quality services in a friendly, respectful manner, creating healthy, safe, and vibrant communities for Morrison County's 34,000 residents. And whereas the efficiency of government relies on the public employees and volunteers who provide services based on a resident-centric structure. And whereas the work of Morrison County employees is fundamental, whether it's public safety, professional services, or administrative support. And whereas through their commitment to Morrison County, employees consistently practice 4 main core values. Trust is paramount, always do better, strive to understand, and take an innovative approach for the benefit of their neighbors. And whereas the vital work that counties do promotes healthy communities, fosters conditions for economic growth, strengthens infrastructure, and improves residents' quality of life. And whereas Morrison County recognizes the generous contributions of time, skill, and expertise by public employees and community volunteers, and the importance of services they render. And now therefore, the Morrison County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim May 5th through the 11th, 2024 as Public Service Recognition Week in Morrison County, and call upon all citizens to recognize and express their appreciation for the important contributions of public employees and community volunteers through the county and around the world.
Gentlemen, I'll ask for a motion.
I'd make that motion.
Second?
I will second that, Mr.
Any
Chair.
more discussion? I'll lead off on this one. The public service, I just kind of gets, I was told once that, what do we do here at the courthouse? What is this here? Why do we need that? And I basically tell them, you really don't need anybody until you need them. And that's what public service does, is that, you're not, whether it's starting with land services, sheriff's department, when you need them, then there's the questions that come about where they want to be answered, and that's what we serve. It's very important to have us out and about, and again, I may be a little bit more stronger for Morrison County, because I think we got a heck of a staff, and we do a great job for the people that we serve in this county. I mean, we have well over 30,000 people, so things are moving right along, but again, they're always open to give them a call, whatever department is, and then going with the volunteers. It's another great thing that we do in this county, is people volunteer for their community. This is a very strong, nice, knit community that most people that live here enjoy Morrison County, so that's my feeling towards this. So again, I appreciate the service for Recognition Week. Gentlemen, anything else?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'd just like to echo your words, and the thing that really struck me coming to work for the county is a high quality of workers. It just amazes me. People that want to work hard and they enjoy their jobs. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I'll just say that our organization, the members of the Morrison County family, to me, really understand and exemplify that word service. And they work for the public, but they really understand that their occupation and their livelihood is to respond to the public. And in that same sense, we all also recognize that, we compete for talent with the private sector and with private sector employers out there. But I'd be willing to put up any of our staff against those being held out in the private sector for their ability to understand their role in public service. And I'm grateful to be a part of this organization. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And just to also, like this morning, we had a breakfast for the employees. It was a great turnout, but guess why it became a great turnout? The other staff members helped out in the rain, and again, it's just such a positive thing that keeps everybody talking to one another, all departments. We're just not one department. We're a whole county here. So again, I want to thank the people that helped out for Matt, and I believe his dad was out there, cooking pancakes, eggs, sausage, orange juice. Again, just something that we do here to keep the camaraderie in our county. So again, it's just a wonderful idea, and I appreciate everybody here that does that. So gentlemen, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Let's get that picture. Nate, Jeff, Amy, Tabby, come on up here, please. Joseph, you
Awesome.
get the photo.
Awesome.
You're gonna be in the front row. So you- We'll get around. You gotta get recognition.
Come on up here, Jeff.
Tabitha's the one.
Thank you, Amy. Such a good job. Thank you, Amy.
Francis, come on up here. Get up in the front.
I don't know where I'm going.
All right, Joseph, tell us what to do.
Here we go. Get up right here in the front there. So there you go.
Come on, there you go.
Squeeze together.
Okay.
How's this work?
There.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Great.
All right.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
We did it.
Keep up the good work.
Well, I will.
Keep up the good work, Amy.
Matt, thank you for that, for
Thank
reading
you,
that
Mr. Chair.
proclamation. Appreciate that. Now, I believe we have some guests here from the Humane Society. If you'd like to come up and state your name and what you have to tell us today. Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Paul Mickelson. I am the board president at the Humane Society.
Dave Glaze, I'm on the board of directors.
Bruce Creek Board of Directors.
And which board of directors of the Humane Society?
Yes.
All right. What do you have for us?
Thank you for inviting us to come and give you just kind of some brief updates about what's happening at the Humane Society. Go through some of the positive things we've been going through, deal with some of our challenges that we face on a daily basis, and then answer any questions, concerns that you may have about what happens at the shelter. We do appreciate your past and present support for us. The Humane Society does kind of offer to Morrison County a hidden resource that, for the most part, most people don't even realize is present until you have a stray dog on your porch, you've got a litter of kittens in your garage. We're the people that get the call. And bringing those animals to us seems very simple. You bring them in, you leave them, sign the turn-in form, they leave, then they become our responsibility. And we have a very dedicated but small 3 part-time employees, plus our board of 6 people who work really hard keeping those animals safe, getting them socialized, getting them adopted into forever homes. And so, to kind of go through some of the challenges we've been facing, and we'll deal with the first one, which in 2022, we did have an embezzlement. We did have a former employee steal roughly $26,000 from us. At this point, we can proudly say we have a guilty conviction and a restitution settlement where we will start to recover our money. That has gone through the court system. It is now final, and so we will start to get that money back. That was one employee on their own. Nobody at the shelter at this point was involved or ever will be involved in something like that. We have instituted some financial restraints to guarantee that never will occur again. We do have Shelley Kirker, who was the former
Business manager
business
at
manager
the high school.
Yep.
high school.
Yep.
She is now our treasurer. She is running our books. She runs it extremely tight. Very tight. We were off by 1 penny, and she would not let it go until we
Yeah,
found
she
that
gets
penny.
upset.
And so, no staff deal with money at the shelter anymore. Shelley and the board deals with the shelter. Every check that is written is signed by 2 board members. So we do have some very tight controls over our resources at this point. So we've addressed that. Financially, we are comfortable from where we were last year. And so we've made a positive impact that way. Second biggest challenge is obviously our building. The building we are in next to City Hall was built to be a pound. Strays came in, sat for 5 days, and they were euthanized. It's not built to be a shelter. We really cannot isolate sick animals, and if we get a contagious illness in there, it spreads through the building pretty fast. This past year in 2023, we dealt with 2 outbreaks of parvo in our dogs. And the way our dog runs are set up, our dog runs are just next to each other, and we really can't isolate those animals. We only lost 2 in both outbreaks, which for parvo was pretty impressive. We did deal with feline distemper, which is basically parvo in cats. Again, same thing, extremely contagious. And we only lost 4 kittens through the whole process. So our staff works really hard keeping those animals healthy. Then we had an outbreak of ringworm, which is not only contagious to dogs and cats, but it's contagious to people. Anybody can get it. That forced us to close. We were letting people in by appointment only just because cats or dogs exposed to ringworm won't show signs for 20 days, which means they could be carrying the fungal spores, look healthy, they get adopted out, and all of a sudden the people that adopted them have ringworm. We have now successfully cleaned out the ringworm in our facility, and we are planning to open up to the public again, probably within the next 2 weeks. And so the building is now sanitary, it is clean, the animals are healthy. We have 0 sick animals in our sick room at this point. So we've made really good progress as far as the health of the animals. And just to kind of give you an example of what we're dealing with, in 2013, the shelter took in 243 animals from the county. Last year, 478. Over 90% of those were successfully rehomed. We are a no-kill shelter. We do not euthanize animals because we are out of space. If it comes to that point, we look for transfer options. We are working with Tri-County, we work with Babinski, we work with Heartland. If we have an animal that's sitting for a while, we will try and do a swap, see if they're sitting on one. We may have people that are looking for a particular dog down here, and they're looking for one that we have. So we are partnering with local humane societies to try and get those animals more options as far as rehoming goes. We are going through a long-term planning conference, is that what you would call it?
It's a facilitation to
Facilitation.
set goals for the future and what we want to do.
And no, our long-term goal is to get a bigger facility where we can actually set up an isolation room, get some better airflow, just so we don't have those outbreaks that basically affect everyone in that building. So, we had a really good last half of the 2023 as far as fundraising goes. We pulled in about $20,000 in grant money. We also had several large donations from local people, which basically allow us now. We just upgraded our cat kennels. We just bought 15 new stainless steel cat kennels, which are not inexpensive. 15 kennels cost us $13,000. We had the resources to do that. We were also able to upgrade our 40-year-old furnaces and AC units, so now we have some better airflow. We're more efficient as far as utilities go, which is saving us money. And the animals are just more comfortable now. And we're planning on starting, in the past, we have done the dog walks, fundraising, walk for dogs. We were gonna do it last year, and then canine influenza hit, and we just had to cancel it. We're planning on trying to getting that going again this summer. Getting some more community events, starting to work. We're looking to try and do stuff monthly out in the community, just to kind of get the shelter out there in a positive perception. And the best way we measure our success are by the sheets that you have there, the 2 stories. The cat that you have in front of you, Pi, he was our polecat. He came in on a catch pole, swinging, because he was so vicious and feral. Last week, he got adopted into a home. That's success for us.
With the staffing here.
We worked with that cat. And then the dog, Tala. I'm sorry. She was found in Piers,
What is the name's dog again?
Tala.
Tella.
Most of the animals come in with no names. We give them names.
And some of them are very hard to pronounce.
She was found in Piers, in a yard, chained up. The only people that were feeding her would walk by and throw her something over the fence occasionally. She came in 20 pounds, and she's a shepherd. You could see every single bone in her. Extremely aggressive. Sat in the corner of her kennel. You couldn't come anywhere near. This is her. People love her. That's what we do. That's what I have for you.
As you can see by Paul's emotions, they're very dedicated. I've only been on the board for a few months, but I've never seen a nonprofit organization work harder and more dedicated than what they have now to help these animals. And I'm sure you see all the things on TV and stuff, and these people that are on this Humane Society board, the people, part-time people we have working, like I said, I've never seen a more dedicated group of people in my life. They're very good. Well, not only with the embezzlement case, but with the outbreak. Everybody from the board was on there cleaning that place up, getting everything straight. I just want you to know how dedicated they are to this. And as far as fundraisers, Paul forgot, we did a fundraiser where I think we raised $8,000 at the Rosemeyer House this last Christmas. We were the ones that handled that. So, I mean, that's just one example. And they were all volunteers that did this, one example of what this board does. So, and again, thank you for support you give us monetarily and everything else. And I just want you to know that they are wonderful people and they do a very good job, very good.
Everything is so taken to heart there. The staffers there, even when an animal leaves being adopted, they'll quietly cry or whatever, because it's such an emotional thing for them, such a bond. But it's very much quite a turnaround in that facility.
Anything else?
Nope, I got it.
Thank you very much for
Gentlemen,
listening.
Again, do you have any comments, questions, concerns for the board?
Mr. Chair, I'll just, I'll start off here, saying you guys, gentlemen, your commitment to this work and to this cause is without question. But, to share with you, our perspective on this too, we recognize the challenges that you face and overcome, and some of the I'll say not so positive press with the unfortunate incident with the embezzlement and those things, but you've shown great resiliency with your fundraising efforts in the face of some negativity. You guys have really, you've really risen above that. So many things that you share with me, I view in positive light. Making the decision to hire a finance person to oversee that can help restructure and bring that accountability on the financial side, I think is tremendous and huge. Your talk of, I wrote it down more as like strategic planning. You're looking into the future, looking at needs, not just now, but needs into the future and how you're going to address them. And that shows to me tremendous leadership out there, because you want to be proactive and not reactive to issues out there. You have all your board seats filled, is that correct? You don't have an open board seat, or do you?
Yes, we only have 6 people on our board at this point,
So
which
you-
is another one of our challenges.
Okay,
We can go up to 13, so
so you have openings on the board out there, and we want to help you. We want to help you in trying to fill those voids out there within your organization too. One of the questions I have, Mr. Chair, was with the rise in numbers from, you gave us numbers from 2013, and then also 10 years later at 2023, almost numbers that are more than double. Does your organization spend time or effort communicating to the public? I know some organizations within the Humane Society or branches of the Humane Society have looked at talking about spaying or neutering pets and to help control that population in that way versus being forced to euthanize. And so does our local Humane Society, do you guys take that approach or share that approach out there with the public? Or what's your thoughts on that, I guess?
With the media, Pet Finder, everything's changed. It's like it never quite happened in the past. We're out there with the media, very much widespread.
been trying to get a trap neuter release program to come in. They've been kind of shut down because of COVID. They're starting to travel again. It would be great to get them to come into the county and start to, people don't understand how many cats are out there.
Yeah,
There are cats everywhere.
yep.
And that's the big thing. I mean, we do need to get a trap neuter release program coming through the county, just to get the population under control. We're in a farm area. I mean, there are cats.
Yep.
So it's a little hard to get that, instilled in people's mentality, just because of the past idea of what cats are for.
Exactly, exactly, and hopefully, that becomes one of those ancillary effects of that darn COVID that a lot of people in the public don't realize. These are the tales that come along with that issue of COVID that affect other things that people don't typically think about. I'm grateful for the work. Obviously, we don't just see, but we feel the emotion and the commitment that all three of you give to this work. And we want to support your work, and we recognize, the fiscal commitments that we've made, and we understand the importance of that. But I think it's tremendous that you'd take the time to come and visit with the board here, and we probably should do that maybe more often and have this opportunity to visit with you, so we stay better and closer in contact on the issues that you're facing and the challenges out there, but also the opportunity to also help celebrate in some of the accomplishments that you're making out there. But I appreciate your time and certainly your work and commitment.
Thank you
So.
for that invite.
Hey, Greg, may I say one thing? You mentioned that we hired a financial, we did, she's a volunteer.
She's a volunteer to
Yes, she
your
is.
board.
Shelley's a volunteer.
And.
Just so you know that's what's going on, Greg.
Okay, and Dave, thank you for clarifying that to me and to the rest of the board. And I'll say kudos to Ms. Kirker for stepping up, and it shows that another person that took advantage of an opportunity to serve within the community, and give of themselves there too. And I think that's fantastic, just as all of you have done too. The number of animals, I'll just say this, Mr. Chair, to close, the number of animals that you took in 2023 at 478, and you have 6 board members and 3 part-time employees addressing this issue out there, is amazing. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
And
Thank you,
please send our appreciation to your staff, to your 3 part-time employees there too, Mr. Chair.
Thank
You,
you.
Mr. Casper, will you follow up with that?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just, thank you, Mr. Blaine, that's sweet. And you guys, thanks for being there. Animal cruelty makes one sick of heart. Thank you so much for all your work. The other thing I was gonna ask, is there such a thing as your current building? Is that something that can be remodeled instead of having to move, or is that an impossibility?
I don't think there's enough room over there,
We have
Mr. Capser.
combined with the city garage,
City garage,
see.
right.
city hall, so it's just like
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Painted in the corner?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a goal for the future. Another goal that I don't, is one of these days probably would like, instead of the board running the thing, to get an executive director to run it. But again, financially, we're doing okay, but we could do better, and we could use, an executive director would be fantastic. Maybe we could take dogs from other, like the Tri-County Humane Society or other places to help them out also, if we had a bigger place with an executive director. So that's a goal for the future, just so, you know, you understand what we're trying to do.
Yes, and hopefully now the coffers will start to be more plentiful, that you got the plug in the drain.
Thank you. We hope so too.
Yeah, I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Just to move forward here, what does one have to do if you want to become a board member? So do you have a contact, are your qualifications, you gotta
You
live
can
in City
just
of Little Falls?
Submit a letter of, and, interest
To who do we send that to?
to our, email,
Just trying to
mcahs2021
get some,
@gmail.com.
okay,
Just-
yeah, so we'll get that, because again, that's important, if you have that many openings for your board, again, you see the passion there. And you're not the only one that has the challenges with humane societies. I mean, if you look out throughout the county, the state,
Right.
everyone, it's just not here alone. And we do need this organization, because again, where do the animals go? But I really like what you do if you have one, animal that maybe you can't, find a family for, you do some swaps and all that too. And I understand the money issue too, the Congress, there's so many other different forms, the animals most time take the second seat, the back seat to this here too, but they don't realize that there's a lot of animal lovers out there, so that becomes very passionate, when you see some animal being crude. I'm out in the country, we get animals dropped off all the time. They just say maybe us country bumpkins can take care of them.
Right, yeah.
And so you guys do a wonderful job. We've never forgotten about you. We know what you do. We understand your situation with the room out there. Do you post your hours out there? Or like do you have notifications, or how does one do that if somebody wants to adopt? Just trying to give you some maybe free press here for the.
Yeah, I understand.
They're on the Facebook page, and we have our website.
And it's not open at this time because of all the ringworm and diseases, but again, it's gonna be open pretty soon, right?
Yeah, we have our board meeting tomorrow. and
Tomorrow.
So you
Get
don't
our opening
take
plan.
Personal appointments if somebody wants.
Yep.
to-
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
Okay, you
oh,
still
yeah,
do
we
that
take
too?
appointments, yes,
All right, so then someone.
They can call.
On the dock, okay.
yeah,
All
no
right.
problem.
And then moving to my last point or question, maybe you brought that up, Paul, about where the truck or something comes around and it, spades and neuters cats and dogs, and you bring up cat problems, so I know that used to come around, but it doesn't anymore. Is that up in the talks that you could have a truck?
They're just starting to travel again.
Okay.
They were closed down, and now they're just starting to, they're playing catch-up at this point, because
So
they
are
were,
they coming to Little Falls, or not?
I'm still working on
Okay,
that.
so I think that's very important, because I know I've had some people reach out to me and, well, we can't take a Humane Society because that traveling guy doesn't, or she doesn't come around, but that would be something to, so if you want to try to reduce the cat population a little bit, because I know it's expensive to take it to a vet, $200-300.
We know that.
Pardon?
Oh, yeah, we get a bill every month.
They pay the vet bills just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, again, I appreciate, don't be a stranger here. I'm glad our administrator had you come in and speak with us to show you what the heck is going on there. That's a great story about the cat and the dog. I own both of them, so those are things that probably hits home with a lot of people in this county. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for listening. We appreciate it very, very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
God bless you folks. You too, Bruce.
Land Services, Amy. Come on down.
Good morning.
Good morning, Amy. What do you have for us?
I have one item for you today, and that is to consider the conditional use permit application for Five Star Ranch to construct a 190 self-supported telecommunications tower. This was considered by the Planning Commission at their last meeting, and it was recommended for approval.
Gentlemen, I'll ask for a motion and a second.
I'd make a motion to.
Any second?
I'll second
Any more discussion? I'll say something. They came, what, a year or two ago for a permit that was approved?
Yes, yep, this is essentially a renewal of the permit that had lapsed,
And
yes.
they explained why, because that being at the meeting, so, yeah, I see no reason why not we could move forward, so I have a motion, a second. Any more discussion, gentlemen? If not, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Yes, thank you, Amy.
Health and Human Services. Jeff and Nathan, what do you have for us this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Nathan Bertram, Health and Human Services Director. I'll let you introduce
Jeff
yourself.
Bowman, Adult Services Supervisor.
And being with Mental Health Awareness Month, we're here to share our adult mental health services report for the last year, and then next week we'll follow up with children's mental health. And with that, I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
So yes, we're here to talk about our adult mental health case managers and the supports that they provide. In order for an individual to be eligible for case management services, they have to have a serious and persistent mental illness. They come in through intake, just like anybody wanting to access voluntary services. We want them to be voluntary, working towards goals, and if they do not have that eligibility criteria upon application, our intake worker assists them to obtain that information, to get that diagnostic assessment that helps them to determine their eligibility for voluntary services. Our referrals come from numerous places. They come from hospitals, clinics, mental health practitioners, family, themselves. It's all about trying to work with the person and try to figure out what works best for them. A lot of our individuals that we work with through the adult mental health case managers, they are not only working with those for specific targeted mental health case management for adult mental health, but for CADI waiver case management. I was in here a month or two ago talking about our CADI services. So the case managers, they work with two different programs. What is best supported for that person. And again, in order to work with, to be eligible for CADI waiver services, that person needs to have a certificate of disability. They need to be long-term care medical assistant eligible and go above and beyond state plan services to be able to live where they want to live. And so again, it's all about what that person's goals and supports that are needed to help them. And we have individuals that go from targeted mental health case management to waiver case management most often, because they come in just wanting to see what they can work with, what can support them, and then their needs are so that they need to transition to waiver services. And I believe about 45% of the individuals supported are CADI waiver eligible for adult mental health case management. There are the numbers of individuals that we've been supporting over the past several years, and these are just for the targeted mental health case management for adult mental health. Our numbers have remained fairly steady, and again, a lot of the numbers that have gone down are those individuals transitioning to CADI waiver services, because their needs, again, go above and beyond what state plan services are intended to support. On the next slide shows the revenue that we receive. We are able to bill third-party insurance, or state plan insurance, I should say, for case management.
What do you mean by third party, just for?
Medical assistance is what I meant to say. We have individuals that are on what are called PMAPs, and so we work with everybody that wants to work with us, regardless of insurance. We provide case management Doesn't matter if they are eligible for insurance or not, we will support them. And insurance views case management as a benefit, cost-effective service to keep people out of hospitals. So that's because, as we know, hospitals are fairly expensive to insurance providers, and they will cover what they believe is beneficial and supportive. And as you can notice, back in 2019 to 21, we had initiated a pilot program where we had one case manager doing dual case management, and so that's why our revenues were higher that month, but it was not sustaining because there are many factors that go into our revenue. One is our rate that is determined by the state. It is not consistent from county to county. We get that information typically end of June and July, and it's based off of the previous 3 to 4 years information. So it's not real time current, and so it makes budgeting a challenge at times when you don't know what your revenue is going to be based upon what the rates that the state is going to say what it is. And one thing I'll also say is that we are working together with our different departments and staff members to make sure that we are recouping, covering all that we can for our targeted mental health case billing. On the next slide, I know I've talked about it before, we have our involuntary mental health case management. These are for those individuals that meet statutory requirements for a mental illness civil commitment. These come out of we don't initiate these. We receive a statement of support from a mental health provider, a hospital, saying this person is a danger to themselves or others. There are times where a lot of these individuals we work with turn into or need that level of support. We're already providing case management, and we have to then implement more stricter supportive measures, and this all occurs through the court. Nothing happens outside of the court. We have our process, we screen, and I would say, screen in about 2/3 of the statements of support that we receive from hospitals, because we want this to be least restrictive to get the person to where they need to be. Next slide just shows the level of commitment cases for mental illness that we've had over the past couple of years. It fluctuates very greatly. I know last year when I came in 2023, I think at that time we had one up to this point, and then seasonal changes is what seems to drive these numbers up. So again, that's how many we've had over the past couple of years. One of the big partnerships we have is through our AMHI Adult Mental Health Initiative. We are a member of Region 5+. That's where a lot of our grant-funded programs, the funding comes from. For instance, we have individuals that are not medical assistance eligible. They are not going to be able to work a treatment plan, but they still need support in their homes. So we have grant programs to be able to provide skills, and individuals may be familiar with an ARMS worker, it's an adult mental health skills worker. We have a couple different programs designed to get in there. They don't have to go through the red tape of insurance. They can get in there to work on what the person wants and don't have to wait for all the rigmarole that we have to do for insurance. It funds a lot of our other programs, crisis stabilization for individuals that need that short-term level of support that don't have insurance. This helps to cover those costs. A lot of our crisis providers, MCO, Crisis Line, that's where the funding for their programs come from. We've been very thoughtful and prioritizing our partnerships here within Morrison County, really trying to work with our law enforcement and hospitals, having intentionally scheduled meetings when it's not a crisis. So when the crisis arises, we know how to all work together. Our crisis services, folks, I hope are familiar with 988 over the past couple of years. It's 911 for mental health. And so 988 and Crisis Line and MCO, Mobile Crisis Outreach. I know I speak in acronyms sometimes, so sorry for that. But that is how a lot of individuals that are experiencing acute mental challenges can get some stabilization and recommendations. And we're all working together because we all have the same goal. We have our IPS program that's designed for employment, rapid engagement for individuals with, that are working with adult mental health case management, and our local advisory council. That is our partnership of Morrison County, persons, family members with lived experience, and partners, providers. It gives an opportunity for outside individuals to really give good explanations and ideas and projects on how to meet the unmet needs of mental health in our county. And just to, summarize, again, our mental health case managers, they work with both targeted mental health case management eligible individuals and waiver individuals. It's pretty close to 50-50. It's a little heavier side on the targeted mental health case management. We really try to work together with our children's mental health team for those transition age individuals that are still needing a lot of support, finding ways to make sure that they are able to transition into adulthood to still be successful. At this time, we have 4 full-time adult mental health case managers, and we have 1 shared children's mental health and adult mental health, who provides work for both adults and children.
Just a couple things I would highlight. I think the mental health initiative for Region 5 Plus has been a really strong advocate for supports of mental health in our area. Last legislative session, they did, I don't know why you want to canonize it, it's probably not the right word, a new formula for how they're going to determine what different regions get. Our region is very lucky, and it looks like we're slated to get almost 2.2 million per grant cycle. So I expect those services, again, to be collaborative with our providers such as Northern Pines, Crisis Line, 988, Nystrom's, and many of the others in our region. I know I didn't mention them all, so. I think we look forward to looking at how we can utilize those dollars to support people here in Morrison County. Portions of that go directly to the county as well, and so some of those discussions will be happening here even this summer as we start to prepare the next grant cycle. The other thing I'd probably mention just about the billing and the budgeting piece of it, with that coming in June, July, it always switches halfway through a budget year, which always leaves you a little bit kind of predicting kind of where you don't know where you're going to be. Essentially, I've seen historically, I've seen numbers drop over $1,000 in that period. So I've seen it gone from $1,200 to like $600 per month for that reimbursement rate, which just kind of shoots your budget. But as a part of that, case management redesign has been going on forever at DHS. I know there's some stuff that was in legislation this year. I'm not sure that it's going to make it through this session, but they've been working it a long time, and that's to do a more 15-minute type rate as opposed to kind of a 1 month one that kind of varies every June, July, where they shift that. But overall, like I said, we have great partners in this area. There's some additional funds, and I am looking forward to some of the collaboration we'll be able to do here in these next future years. So, questions for us?
We brought up that this was employee, what was it?
Public service.
Public Service Week. This is just something right here that the county does. And look at how many different types of services that we use, and people just are aware of it again until you need it. So if you don't have it, then you really hear about it. So you bring up the DHS. I'm not a fan of DHS because you have no idea. Again, I deal with them all again with the different mental health organizations. You just can't get anything from them. It's too big. They don't even know who's waving the tail. But this is why we work together with other smaller groups, cause then you can get done, providing they keep their paws out of it, you know, so, it is, it's just, I'm just amazed at what we do here for the county for, mental health, social services, again, thank you. Gentlemen, anything else?
Mr. Chair, I'd just say one of the pieces that I think is really valuable in the advisory group, I believe it is, where you're bringing in collaboration and input from family members, you know, who are there 24/7 or have greater exposure to the needs of those that are facing, you know, this illness. And really, I think that becomes really valuable information and a really valuable look for staff to say, here's some things that are going on that you might not see when staff is there visiting with that patient or that individual. And so being able to get greater exposure to all the things that may be happening out there to help us to better help those patients or clients out there. And I think that's impressive, and it's in a very positive thing. How you guys year after year serve in an era where you have no certainty on funding is, I tip my hat to you, because and I feel for you, because it's hard to be able to effectively budget, to actually be able to, I don't know how you sleep at night, knowing that the level of funding may change or have the rug pulled out from under you by certain percentages or whatever, and you not having any kind of control over that. And I think it speaks to that probably unknown challenge to a lot of the public out there on what you have to do outside of just that physical part of being there for these individuals. The background work and that background administrative financial part of this has got to be a nightmare. So thank you both and all of your staff for all you do. Thank you.
Anything else? Otherwise, get you.
Well, just real quick, I'd just say that, thank you, because like Greg has mentioned, you guys are shooting at a moving target, and that's hard. Trying to keep budgets, and it's like a roller coaster, and you're chasing it. Thank you for all your work, and that's just part of it. Thank you for being there for these down and outers. We greatly appreciate your work. And as Greg says, thank you to all your staff. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
You too.
Administrator.
Mr. Chair, nothing for the board unless you have questions for me.
I think we're good. Tabitha, what do we got for dates?
May 12th through May 25th.
12th through the 25th. That's a slow week. I'll tell you what, I'll kind of start with this one. How's that sound?
Go for it,
And let
Mr.
everybody
Chair.
else catch up.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Let's see here. Tuesday, we have a planning session, 8:30. We have a planning commission board of adjustment at 6 o'clock. And we have a planning budget meeting after the planning session, which I believe will be 9 AM or something like that, so that'll come with that. We have board on the 21st, Tuesday. I have TCC on Tuesday that's gonna be the 23rd of Thursday. Tri-County Community, and that's at 5:30, and that's over by Tractor Supply. I have soil and water on the Friday at 8 o'clock at Stormwater Conservation District. And that pretty much does what I have. And I'm assuming you'll get with the other two commissioners and bring their reports together.
Go ahead, Bobby. Okay. Mr. Chair, I have Tuesday, the 14th, 12 o'clock at Pine Country Bank as Community Development. And then a Zoom meeting on Thursday, the 16th, at 10 o'clock for Central Minnesota Council on Aging. There again, that's a Zoom. And then 12 o'clock that same day, Thursday, the 16th, 12 o'clock Airport Commission or Little Falls Airport. And then going to Tuesday, the 21st, at 6 o'clock, or I should say 5 o'clock in the evening, Great River Regional Library meeting over in St. Cloud. And then the 24th on Friday, 10 o'clock, Mississippi Headwater Board up at Walker, Minnesota, and that takes care of me.
Commissioner Blaine?
The only date I can give you is on Thursday, the 16th at 9 a.m. The Region 5 Development Commission Exec Board will have a meeting at 9 a.m. and I believe that will be at the Region 5 office in Staples. And then that evening at 7 o'clock, the Egg Society would be scheduled to meet, and I believe that, I'm very certain that that meeting would take place at the fairgrounds in continued preparation for the county fair. Other than that, I think that's where I'm at.
All right.
Hopefully be in the field.
Anything else?
Yeah, exactly.
If not, we'll adjourn at 10:26.